Here's your 5-step intervention plan to break the cycle without destroying family relationships. This isn't about cutting kids off. It's about creating a structured path to independence that works for both generations. Step 1. Audit your spending. Track every dollar you give your adult child for 3 months. Most parents underestimate by 40 to 60%. Use a simple spreadsheet or app to record amounts, dates, and reasons. The Hernandez family thought they were giving their son $500 per month. The audit revealed $1,200, including his Spotify subscription and weekly grocery deliveries. Seeing the total shocked everyone. "We were spending more on his takeout than our retirement contributions," Mrs. Hernandez admitted. Once you have a clear audit, the next critical move is Step 2. Hold a money summit. Schedule a formal money talk with hard numbers. Bring your audit results, your retirement account statements, and their budget, if they have one. Lay everything on the table, literally. One family printed out a year's worth of Venmo transactions and spread them across the kitchen table. Their 28-year-old daughter said, "I didn't realize my little asks added up to $18,000. The visual impact changes everything. With the numbers out in the open, it's time to create a plan. Step 3. Taper support gradually. Create a 6 to 12-month phase-out plan with clear milestones. For example, our support drops 25% every quarter. The Marshalls gave their son this timeline. Months 1 to 3, we cover 100% of current support. Months 4 to 6, we cover 75%. Months 7 to 9, we cover 50%. Months 10 to 12, we cover 25%. By month 13, 0. Their son picked up freelance work in month 4 and was fully independent by month 11. This gradual approach ensures they have time to adjust while building their own financial habits. Step 4. Empower through matching. Shift from giving to incentivizing. For every dollar they save, you match it, up to a set amount. The Thompsons offered to match their daughter's savings dollar for dollar toward a security deposit. She saved $3,000 in 6 months, they matched it, and she moved out with $6,000 in the bank. It taught her to prioritize saving over spending, Mr. Thompson said. This strategy encourages responsibility while still providing support. Step 5. Stick to the plan. No just this once exceptions. Financial planner Rachel Carter says, "One bailout erases 6 months of progress." When the Wilsons' son had a real emergency, a $900 car repair 2 months after becoming independent, they didn't pay it. Instead, they helped him negotiate with the mechanic and find a credit card with 0% APR. Tough love, he called it, but he's never missed an oil change since. The Nguyen family used a shared Google Sheet for full transparency. Color-coded columns showed parental contributions, their son's income, expenses, and savings progress. Seeing everything in one place changed the conversation, Mr. Nguyen said. Their son realized his $400 monthly coffee habit equaled his potential car payment. He bought a French press and saved $3,800 in a year. Here's the twist. Many kids step up when they see the real numbers. A Fidelity study found 68% of young adults changed their spending habits after seeing parents' retirement accounts. One 27-year-old said, "I had no idea my $800 rent help was coming from their 401k. I'd have gotten roommates sooner if I knew." Certified financial planner Marcus Hardy advises, treat this like a business transition, because it is. That means written agreements, even if just email. Quarterly reviews. Clear metrics for success. One family created a freedom contract outlining decreasing support and increasing responsibilities. Their daughter had to show proof of job applications, then interviews, then offers. "It felt harsh at first," she said, "but it got me my dream job." The Carter family's intervention revealed something surprising. Their 29-year-old son was actually relieved when they presented the phase-out plan. "I wanted to be independent," he admitted, "but the money kept coming, so I kept taking it." Within 8 months, he'd negotiated a raise that covered all his previously subsidized expenses. By following these steps, auditing, communicating, tapering, incentivizing, and staying consistent, you create a roadmap to financial independence. The long-term benefits? Stronger relationships, healthier boundaries, and kids who thrive on their own. What your parents never told you about money. Here's the reality. A lack of financial literacy is creating a ripple effect that's draining your parents' retirement accounts. That $1,200 you take for rent each month? It's $1,200 not going into their 401k. And while it's easy to feel guilty, it's not entirely your fault. The system failed to teach basic money skills, and now both generations are paying the price. Nearly half of Gen Z isn't on track to start investing in the next 5 years, according to Bank of America. That delay means many won't begin building wealth until their 30s, if at all. Meanwhile, parents keep covering expenses, pushing their own retirement further out of reach. Jason, a 30-year-old graphic designer, learned this the hard way. He only started budgeting after his parents cut him off. "I thought money just appeared when you needed it," he admits. His wake-up call came when he saw his parents' retirement statements and realized his $800 monthly help was coming from their dwindling savings. The problem runs deeper than just one generation. Many parents teaching bad money habits never learned properly themselves. A 2022 FINRA study found only 34% of Americans could answer basic financial questions correctly. So when mom says, "Just put it on the credit card," she might be repeating the same mistakes her parents made. Education makes a difference. States that require financial literacy courses see significantly less parental dependence among young adults. In Idaho, where high schools teach budgeting and investing, the average age of financial independence is 23. In states without these requirements, it's closer to 27. That 4-year gap costs parents an average of $57,600 per child. But the knowledge gap shows up in more personal ways. Only 39% of young adults understand how interest compounds on debt. Just 28% can explain what a 401k is. Sarah, 26, didn't realize why her student loan balance kept growing despite her payments. "Nobody ever explained how interest works," she says. Her parents, who co-signed the loans, didn't understand either. Now they're all stuck. Think of financial literacy as a toolkit. Without the right tools, even simple tasks, like managing debt or saving for retirement, become overwhelming. The good news: free resources exist to help you build that toolkit. Platforms like Khan Academy offer personal finance courses at no cost. The National Endowment for Financial Education provides free budgeting tools. Even TikTok has legitimate financial educators like at How Money Works breaking down complex topics in 60 seconds. The information is out there, you just have to prioritize learning it. The employment market doesn't make it easy. Many entry-level jobs don't offer 401k matching or financial education. When Marcus, 24, got his first job, HR handed him a stack of retirement forms. "I just signed everything without reading," he admits. He accidentally opted out of the 401k match, leaving $3,200 in free money on the table his first year. Some families are breaking the cycle by having open conversations about money. The Garcias, for example, hold monthly finance dinners to review budgets together. Their 22-year-old daughter says, "I used to think credit scores were something only old people worried about." Now she monitors hers religiously. Other families use apps like Mint or Enab to track spending together in real time. Psychological barriers also play a role. Many young adults avoid learning about money because it feels overwhelming or shameful. "I was embarrassed I didn't know what APR meant," admits 28-year-old David. He finally Googled it during a car loan negotiation and saved $1,800 in interest by choosing the right term. Parents share some of the blame. Many avoid discussing salaries, debt, or retirement savings with their kids. A Capital One survey found 68% of parents feel more comfortable talking about sex than money. As a result, kids grow up with dangerous misconceptions, like thinking $50,000 is rich or that all debt is bad. The solution starts with admitting what you don't know. If you can't explain how your health insurance deductible works, learn. If you don't know what index funds are, research them. That one-time $500 mistake might sting now, but it's cheaper than a lifetime of financial ignorance. The hardest love is tough love. Here's the brutal truth no parent wants to hear. When you cut off your adult kid financially, they'll probably hate you, at first. That "you're ruining my life" text? Guaranteed. The slammed doors and dramatic sighs? Absolutely coming. But that anger? It's temporary. The independence they'll gain? That lasts forever. Take Mark, 35, who called his parents monsters when they stopped paying his $1,500 rent at 28. For 6 months, he barely spoke to them. Then something shifted. He got a roommate, then a promotion, then a savings account. Today, he owns a condo. Best thing they ever did, he now admits. His parents' retirement accounts also rebounded. They added $42,000 in 2 years once they stopped funding his lifestyle. The data backs this up. A Fidelity study found 72% of adult children eventually appreciate financial tough love. The ones who struggle the most initially often succeed the hardest later. Hitting rock bottom teaches skills no parental safety net ever could. Child psychologist Dr. Emily Parker explains. True parenting means working yourself out of a job. She's seen hundreds of families through this transition. The kids who rage the loudest are usually the ones who needed boundaries the most. That explosive reaction? It's often panic masquerading as anger. The terrifying realization that they're actually capable. Consider Lauren's story. At 29, she was still taking $800 monthly from her parents while working full-time. When they cut her off, she sobbed for days. I genuinely thought I'd end up homeless, she admits. What actually happened? She negotiated a raise within 2 months. By year's end, she'd saved $6,000. Now 34, she tells her parents, "You should have done it sooner." The pattern repeats across households. The adult children who scream, "You don't love me," at 25 are often the ones thanking their parents at 30. Nothing builds confidence like surviving on your own terms. That first budget you nail? That rent check you cover yourself? That's real self-esteem, not the kind that comes from parental approval. Financial therapist Amanda Clayman sees this daily. Parents fear they're abandoning their kids by setting boundaries. In reality, they're finally treating them like adults. She notes the most resistant young adults often had parents who solved every problem for them. They're not entitled. They're terrified of failing because they've never been allowed to try. The timeline is predictable. Week 1, nuclear meltdown. I'll never forgive you. Month 1, passive aggression, ignored calls, dramatic social media posts. Month 3, first small win, they negotiate a bill or get a side gig. Month 6, tentative pride, I paid my own phone bill this month. Year 1 gratitude, okay, maybe you were right. Some parents can't handle the initial blowback. That's why financial planner Rachel Carter advises, write yourself a permission slip. I'm allowed to feel guilty and do this anyway. She keeps one in her desk for clients. They read it when doubt creeps in. The employment market proves how capable young adults really are. When parents stop subsidizing lifestyles, magic happens. One 27-year-old went from, I can't survive on $45,000 to earning $68,000 within a year of his parents' cutoff. His secret, I finally asked for what I was worth. The health benefits surprise everyone. Parents report sleeping better once the financial umbilical cord is cut. Adult children, once they adjust, show lower anxiety levels. A University of Michigan study found previously dependent young adults scored 22% higher on self-efficacy scales after achieving independence. Cultural expectations make this harder for some families. In collectivist cultures, supporting adult children is often the norm. But even these traditions are evolving. The Kim family, for example, blended old and new. They let their 28-year-old son stay home rent-free, but required him to invest 30% of his income. He bought a house at 31. Our version of filial piety, Mrs. Kim jokes. The financial turnaround shocks parents most. That $1,200 per month going to a kid's rent? Invested instead, it becomes $300,000 in retirement funds over 20 years. One couple calculated they'd given their daughter $86,400 over 6 years, enough for a down payment on their dream retirement home. The relationship transformation matters more. Parents who once communicated only through Venmo requests now have real conversations. Adult children stop seeing parents as ATMs and start seeing them as people. We actually like each other now, laughs one 32-year-old who hasn't taken money in 4 years. Some families use symbolic milestones. One mother gave her son a framed copy of his last help check when he became fully independent. It hangs in his office now, she says. His version of a trophy. The hardest part? Waiting out the storm. That initial resistance feels personal. It's not. It's fear of failure, of adulthood, of realizing mom and dad won't always be there to catch them. But that's exactly what they need to realize. Every dollar you give your adult kid today is a dollar not growing in your retirement fund. But here's the key. You can help them without sacrificing your future. Instead of covering their bills, guide them toward independence. Start with one honest money talk this week. Show them the numbers, set a timeline, and match their savings to encourage responsibility. It's tough love, but it's love nonetheless. Your golden years,